Hello, how are you? Welcome to my channel. Okay, so today we are going to look at the tools used in AutoCAD. That is the line, the polyline, the circle, the axe, time allows, rectangle, ellipse, and some of the tools used like move, copy, stretch, rotate, mirror, scale, array, trim, chamfer, fillet, erase, explode, and offset. You've also some modifying tools like break at a point, break, and so on. So let's start off with the most important tool in drawing, either drawing physical or what by software. A line. A line is a vector made up of 2 points. So meaning, what do I mean? Here's the first point and the second point. So when you join 2 points, you make a line. So that's a line. And this is our line tool. So I'm using the construction layer. So that's why the color is magenta. So to start off, let me start off with my line tool. Let's start off by drawing a rectangle. Let's say a rectangle of 80 millimeters by 50 millimeters. I want to join it. First, I've forgotten the distance. I simply place my cursor here on the end point, and then voila, I have the distance. I join it there. So now this is my rectangle made up of the lines. Now I realize that all these lines are not joined, meaning I can move this line, I can move it, I can move it back. You get? You see? So let's use now polyline to see the difference. To do the same rectangle. So it is 80. Some people prefer to use the ortho mode for this by 50. Do the same trick and then you join. So for the polyline, it joins the figure immediately. What does that mean? Meaning I can move the line like the way I did last time. I can't. I would remove the entire figure. But if I want to move the line and I'm so extent and it's what I want to move that line. What do I do? So maybe let me show you how we use the select tool. So select using the right mouse button. You either select from left to right, which shows a blue selection, or it selects an object if you complete its entire framework. That's now, if I select this now, this polyline object, this polyline rectangle is now selected. But if I select from right to left, it's a green selection. For it is the moment it touches the polyline object, it selects immediately. So let's try it on these lines which are not joined. Left to right, for it selects a complete. If you select an object, for example, just select a complete line. For it select it. I see. Initially it wasn't complete, so if I complete now, it selects the line. I see this. So if I want to, I complete, but I want to select the horizontal lines, it can't until I complete them. Seeing this. So if I stop here, it will only select this line which is complete. So if I do the same thing down, you can select it until I complete the selection to the end point of the line. But if I use the right to left, we're seeing how it simply selects the lines immediately by just touching the corners. Immediately. So you decide when to use which. For example, if I had a line joining these two rectangles, and I want to select it without selecting the object, the left to right would be the best, because for it only focuses on what you're selecting. You only select the line. But the right to the left, the green one, It also focuses on the line, but you can see that it can also select some unwanted things in the process, which is not happening with the left to right. You see this? Right to left. I think the difference. So it ends up selecting some unwanted. So always selection based on what you want. The reason why I wanted to select this because I wanted to carry out. I wanted us to use the first tool. So I select this. So I wanted to move a single line. I press E. Explode. Explode means separate. Separating a figure. So now I can move the line I wanted to move. You see this? The line I wanted to move. So you can also use the move tool. So now I've started the tools. We have used the explode. Now we're on the move. Boom. Move it back. So when you're moving an object, always move it corresponding to the endpoint you want to join it to. I'll explain that further. So if I want to join the one for the square, the rectangle drawing using the line tool, which are not joined together, I do the same thing. I join. I press J for join and join. So now it's joined. So now if I want to move it also, it moves as a whole. So first if I explode that join, explode, the move, and the line, and the polyline. Right? Right. So other tools to use, which are very important. We have the rotate tool. Okay, let's go in this order. Move. So let me first join this. Joined. So I want to move it perpendicular. If I want to move it perpendicular, auto mode has to be on. So what I do, I first select it, move. I move it based on the corner. Let's say I want to move it this corner aligned with this corner. What do? I select the corner I want to move and then align it with the corner I want. Now this is the problem with auto mode. You can't do such tricks. Auto mode moves it in the direction it wants, which is at 90 to that corner. So if I want to do that trick, I have to place maybe bipolar tracking. Let's now try the same trick to the corner I want to move. This. You have to press your cursor to the corner without pressing the mouse, just placing your cursor there and then you move. It will simply align itself. So now it has moved in line with the corner I wanted it to move. So I want to move it back, this corner in line with this corner, press, and then it is back. So that's how we move. Copy can be the same as move, but as you know, copy means to make it that way. So what I do, select, then copy. Let's say I want to copy it, this corner in line with this corner. I select the corner I want to keep it in line, then place on the corner I want it to be in line with, and then copy. I want more, copy. I want more, copy. I want this time now to be in line with this. I want to be in line with this, copy. I see how it comes very nice. Let's say I want to move. I want to copy this to be in line with this and this. How do I do this? I move it. First check one corner, then check another. Boom. In line, right? That's the copy tool. So let's go now on the stretch tool. Yes, we're moving down. So to stretch, as you hear the word, it simply means to stretch, to elongate, right? So what I do, right to left, selection green. So sorry, first press stretch from here, right to left selection, which is green, enter, and then you pick a corner you want to stretch. Do I want to stretch using corner? Do I want to stretch using the midpoint? Let me stretch using the midpoint. I can even specify the distance. Let's say it's 50. Stretch now this. 50. Let's say I want to stretch the horizontal one. Stretch right to left selection, which is green. It's now there. Enter. I want to stretch. I'm going to stretch using this corner now. So let's say I want to stretch using 35 distance. So it's there. So we have stretched this. Now it's too big. Let's use the scale tool to scale it down a bit, right? So I select it, scale. So now I always like to scale some objects using a bottom corners. You see? So I can scale it depending. I can scale it depending on filling. If I want it to feel this small, I want this to be this small. I want it to be this small. Or I can scale it basing on logic. That is, you write what you want the scale to be. For example, if you want it to be half, that will be 0.5. So now 0.5, right? The distance. Right to left, scale it back. Let's say that means it will be twice back, right? Right to left selection. Once I selected some unwanted, let's say I want it to be, let's say this time to be a quarter, 0.25. Yes, now it's a quarter. So that's how you scale. So the very important when you want to draw similar objects which have different sizes, you simply scale them down or up. So then now let's move on to the mirror. So the mirror command or tool, as it is, it mirrors objects. So an object which is mirrored looks similar, but actually it's opposite. What is the left this side is the right on the other side. So let's try. So I want to mirror this. I've first selected the object and I want to mirror it. So I select the point I want to mirror it from. So let's say it is here. Boom, I select it. Some people when they're mirroring, they always use the ortho mode to help them mirror at the right angle, 90s. I seeing it. So if I say I press the OK, do you want to erase? If I say yes, disappears. Right? Let's mirror again. This time I'm going to say no. No, it remains. It remains. So it becomes very useful when drawing. Remember in AutoCAD, the rule is don't draw something twice. If you can either copy it, mirror it, don't draw it twice. It saves time. That's the rule. Just always ensure that you do something once. Use other techniques to maybe copy, mirror, rotate it any way you want. So with mirroring, that's it. So let's move on to rotate. So to rotate simply means to rotate. Sorry. Okay, simply means to change the angle of the object. For example, if I rotate, and let me say I want to rotate it using the center. This auto mode is on, you realize now it rotates only at 90s. Which you cannot, if that's your plan, it's fine, but that's not mine. So let me change it to polar. So by polar, I can now change it to different angles. I can even specify an angle. Let's say I want it to rotate at an angle of 30. Yes, there. Let's say I want it to rotate this time from here at an angle of 45. Yes, it's there. See? Let's say now I want it back. I don't know. The grids always guide you. But if I want it back, now it's horizontal. So that's the rotate tool. So let's move on to the trim. What is to trim? Trim symbol, as you see here, it's of scissors. What do scissors tell us? Scissors cut. They cut. What do they cut? They cut objects. So by trimming, I can trim anything I want to trim. An example, as long as they're joined, let's say I draw a line here. A line here. I want to trim maybe this line, maybe this line. I simply play trim. I bring this color The moment you're seeing it, it goes where you want to trim. After you place your mouse where you want to trim, the thing kind of fades. The line kind of fades. If you press enter, it disappears. So trim has worked. Right? It has worked. Now let's say I place a circle there. Let's say press a circle here. And I want to trim maybe this part of the circle. I want it here. I want it smart space here. What do? I go on my trim again. I bring it to the point I want to trim. I see it. I press the right mouse button and gone. It's gone. Yes, actually looks like an helmet. Superhero helmet. I don't know what you think. But that's the trim, eh? Comes in handy. For example, I can even trim things which are many. How do I say I want to trim these boxes? Simply give them space now. Simply give it space. Simply give it space. Move it around so that it moves what I want. Let's say I want to move these two lines. Are you seeing it? Simply move it around as a scissor. Direction I move it's where it goes. Yes. Okay, and then you remove. So it works in many ways. So that's the trim. The fillet is to fillet. So to fillet in mechanical language, it is to smoothen, to create a smooth curve. How do I do this? Let's say I want to fillet this. Press fillet. So here it asks me, do you want a polyline? Do you want a radius? Do you want trim? Do you want multiple? Let's say I want radius. Specify the radius. Let's say I want it at 15. And then I want multiple, meaning I don't want to pause, I want to do it continuously. Multiple, continuously. Multiple, continuously. I'm just pressing the mouse, right mouse button, eh? So it just trimmed it, splendid. So now that's my fillet, right? Looks nice. So if you click down here, it has other tools like chamfer. As to chamfer, chamfer is to cut off a portion. So here it says undo, polyline, distance, angle, trim, method, multiple. So let me say always chamfer by distance. The distance it's 15. That's the first distance, and then the second distance, let's say it's also 15. And then it's multiple. What do I do? Let's here chamfer immediately. If you place the first one and then you press on the second line, and then you press the mouse button, right, chamfer, right, chamfer. So now this rectangle has been chamfered. The corners are now removed. So that's the chamfer. That's how it works. That's how it works. That's how it works, the chamfer. The other tool I want us to use is the array tool. So there are 3 arrays. You have the rectangular, the path array, and the polar array. So let's start off with the rectangular array. So the rectangular array does, arrays things in lines. For example, let's say I want to array this rectangle. Select the object I want to array, then go to array and select rectangle. Just array them for me even without my instructions. But here now I can command it to what I want. So let's say I want 2 columns and 1 row. Are you seeing that? Or I want 1 column and 3 rows. Are you seeing there what's happening? They simply just move according to what I want. 2 columns, 2 rows, or 1 column, rows. Yes. So here I can even change the spacing between the columns. Since the column is 1, that's no need. But the rows, it's 75. Let's say I change it to 100. becomes wider, 200, even wider, right? Bring it back to, let's say 50, it becomes smaller. Let's go back to 75. So that's how you use the rectangular array. So if you want to close it, simply just close array. So it's done. Okay, let's move on to another array, which is the path array. So the path array simply works when you have made an object and you want it to be arrayed around a path. So let's do some example. So let me copy this. Let me scale it down. What array this? Let me scale it down to basing on filling. So it's small. So I want to array this around this rectangle. So let me use, I'll move it. If I want to move the center so that it is on the corner, right there. So it's done. So let me array now. So I select what I want to array. I come here, path array. They tell me select the path curve. So it's this rectangle there. So it's on the array, sorry. Oh, so when something is arrayed, it becomes impossible to use because when you select one, you have selected all. So let me move it down to this rectangle which is not arrayed. Same thing, I select it, array, path, select the curve, and then when you press enter, you realize that it just moves around the path. So now I'm realizing maybe there are many. So what do on the path array, how you determine the number is by reducing the spacing. Let's say now I will increase it to 50. They will reduce. I increase it to 100. Okay. So I made an impossible number there. I increase it to 100. I increase it to maybe 1. It will become many. Are you saying this? So if I want to move an array, I'll simply use the arrays. We haven't reached the arrays, but I'll explain it better. Okay, so maybe I don't know if the path array has been understood. Maybe let me repeat. Let's say now it's a circle. I've drawn a corner, and I want it arrayed around this path. So select the circle, path array, select the curve. Then you realize it just arrays around the figure. If I increase now the distance, it also increases, right? If I reduce the distance, they also come back and reduce. So it's something like this because the path I've chosen is a rectangle and I've chosen a corner. So that's how they array like this. So for example, if I draw a line and I array a circle here, and I want it on this line, I simply select this, I array, and then I on the line. I see now they have arrayed on the line. So now, depending on the spacing, if I want them more, just reduce the spacing. Just reduce. I want them less, I just increase. Yes, I just increase. So that's how the path array works. So let's try the polar array. The polar array, as you see, it's circular, so meaning it needs a circle. You array things on a circle since it arrays them from a center. So let's say I was draw a circle here. I want to array a small circle of radius 5 around this circle. So what do? I select the circle, go to array, polar. So for it wants the center point. erase them immediately. So now I can change the number of arrays depending on the items I want. So if I want, no, I want 60, I want 6, they will be arrayed. If I want 5, they'll be arrayed. If I want 3, they'll be arrayed. If I want 40, they'll be arrayed. If I want 7, they'll be 7. If I want 8, they'll be 8. If I want 100, they'll be 100, right? If I want 200, there'll be 200. Yeah? It's making like a wheel. That's how the array tool works. Depends on what you want to array around something. If it is rectangular, array them in lines, meaning you don't have to do the same rectangle again and again if you can just array it. If it is a path array, just array them along the path. If it's a polar array, just array them around the center. So the erase tool, I may use it on the arrays. If I want to remove an array, I want to remove the arrays here. I just select it and then go on erase. So erase is like backspace. You select what you want to erase and erase. That's how it works. The explode tool, we use the bit when you're exploding. For example, if I join this again, so it's joined, but I want to explode it. It's here, the tool, select the object, and then end. So now it has been separated. Now I can move this line anywhere I want, right? Or you can just press E and then select explode. Then select explode. Press enter. Yes, to be exploded. Yes, so that's the explode tool. What else? We have the offset tool. How do we use the offset tool? So offset tool is used to draw lines of equal distance. For example, if I draw a line here and I want it offset, moved by a distance of 10 millimeters, but similar, I can simply select the line and offset. Then I write the distance. Let's set either up or down. The mouse tells me I want to go up, down. So that's how I offset. So I can also offset objects like this, which are joined together. I press in the offset, or I can just press O, offset, and then I press the distance, let's say 5 millimeters. Then I select, I think, inside, outside, inside, outside. This is outside if it's inside. So it all depends. So here I can also show you the other tool we could use, the measuring tool. So the measuring tool is a tool used to measure lines or distances. It's here. It can be distance, radius, angle, area, volume. So this time I want to get the distance. I want to verify if the distance apart this is 5 millimeter. So distance, center, and so realize it's 5. Distance, center, center. I want to determine the total distance. It's 15. So that's how you measure. What other tool can I show you? I can show you maybe the breakatapoint. I realize it's an important tool. How does it help me? Okay, let's say for instance, I want to change. Let me first join this. Okay, I want to break at a point. I want to break this point here from here to here so that it's separated from the total figure. How do I do that? I press B, break at point, then I select the object, and then I select the point where I want to break. So it's here. So now I've broken this from this. So if I want to further break it at this point, I can also press B again, break at the point here. So now this line is totally separated from the object. So I can now change this line maybe to hidden, seeing it. because I've broken it from the solid. So it's very helpful when you want to change layers out of the same object. Just break at a point, or you want to make a line invisible, or you want to maybe to remove a line but don't want to remove the entire object, don't want to trim, you can just break at a point like that. So that's that. So guys, that's it for my video for now. If I use the line, the polyline, some circles, the move, the copy, the stretch, rotate, the mirror, the scale, the erase, the trim, the chamfer, and fillet, the erase, the explode, the fillet, break at point, learn how to select, the selection of green, the selection of blue, and the selection of green. All helpful. Thank you. Yeah, I hope you have learned a lot. Subscribe to the channel, like, share. Thank you very much. This is Amali again. Peace and love.